Oh, I want to bet whatever. Whatever you want to
whatever.
Whatever you want to put up.
I bet that you can't.
No, say it, say it, say it, say it.
I bet that your mouth can fit.
Say what you bet.
I would smack the shit out of you. I smack the shit out of your bitch ass. What you just say? Hey.
You're gonna feel like a foot in your mouth. You're gonna feel like a foot in your mouth.
The boxing world was shocked when Terence Crawford shared his thoughts on what he believes will happen when Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson face each other this Saturday night.
Social media, you were asked one word to describe fighters. Teofimo popped up, you said trash. Do you really believe that Teofimo Lopez is trash?
No, not at all. Not at all. Teofimo is a good fighter. You know, he's very talented. He's very athletic. You know, he's always rose to the occasion in these big moments like this. But Shakur is just on a whole nother level. And this Saturday, he's going to prove.
The big fight will take place at Madison Square Garden, where Lopez will defend his WBO super lightweight title against Stevenson. This will be Stevenson's first fight at 140 pounds after winning titles in 3 different weight classes. It is new ground for the unbeaten WBC lightweight champion, who has already ruled featherweight, super featherweight, and lightweight divisions. During the final press conference broadcast, Crawford shared his thoughts on the matchup. He admitted that Lopez often rises to the occasion in big fights, but he believes Stevenson's all-around skills will be too much to handle. Crawford also said Stevenson is a very different kind of left-handed fighter than anyone Lopez has faced before, and past success against southpaws may not matter on Saturday night.
Teofimo's done well against southpaws. Josh Taylor, Lomachenko, we got these southpaw here. You're a southpaw as well. Do you think Teofimo just has something that other fighters don't have against left-handers, or just think that Shakur's different level of a sniper of a southpaw?
Well, it's a little bit of both. You know, Teofimo has done real well against southpaws, but Shakur have done real well against orthodox fighters. Shakur is not the average southpaw that Teofimo has been fighting. You know, so that's why I say Shakur is levels above those fighters that he's been fighting lately.
And that's the reason he's a favorite coming into this fight.
When asked what kind of Stevenson fans will see in the ring, Crawford said they should expect a complete performance. He believes Stevenson will use all the skills that helped him stay unbeaten while winning titles in 3 weight classes. Crawford noted that Stevenson used to fight very carefully on defense, but lately he has been more willing to trade punches with sharp timing and counters. He expects Stevenson to mix both styles and use every tool he has, causing problems from many angles throughout the title fight.
And you've been a big mentor to Shakur Stevenson. I give you a lot of credit for that. What advice have you given him as he goes into the biggest fight of his career?
Oh man, just be yourself. You know, hey, this is another day in the office, another walk in the park. You know, there's no reason to put a lot of pressure on yourself because you know what you're capable of. With the self-belief in yourself, you can do whatever you want in there, and that's what he's going to do come Saturday.
Mario Barrios shared his opinion and said he believes Stevenson's sharp skills will help him win the fight, even though Lopez often does well as the underdog against top fighters. The WBC welterweight champion pointed to Lopez's wins over Vasily Lomachenko and Josh Taylor to show that Lopez should never be counted out, but he still feels Stevenson should control the fight. Barrios praised how Stevenson has mastered his boxing style, making it hard for opponents to break through his defense or throw him off rhythm. He said Stevenson has a very high boxing IQ and perfect distance control, and he expects the fight to be a fast, smart chess match, but he's leaning toward Shakur to win.
With Shakur, I think he kind of just got shit down like on a boxing IQ level. That due to his distance is impeccable. I think it's gonna be a high-speed chess match, but I am leaning with Shakur.
Jaron Ennis made the boldest prediction of all, saying the fight will not be close. The former unified welterweight champion, known as Boots, told YSM Sports Media that he expects Stevenson to win 9-3 and clearly outbox Lopez over all 12 rounds in New York. This goes against the popular idea that the fight is an even back-and-forth battle between 2 equal stars. Ennis believes Stevenson is clearly better, and that the judges' scorecards will show a strong and one-sided win.
Big fight Saturday. Your generation of fighters.
Yeah.
Guy you sparred a couple times, Shakur, facing Teofimo Lopez, a guy that, you know, you were in talks about fighting before you jumped to 54. What'd you think of that fight?
That's a good fight. You know, it's a good fight. 2 top guys fighting each other. I think Shakur gonna cook him. I ain't gonna lie. I think Shakur gonna cook him 9-3.
9-3?
Yeah.
Now, are you talking about like, is it competitive early or is it just?
It might be competitive early, but I think Shakur just gonna like start breaking him down like mentally and stuff like that. I don't think Tio like mentally there sometimes.
What is it about Shakur that's difficult?
I just think with these guys, I think Shakur, like, he knows distance well, and I don't think the other guys can like reach him or capitalize off of that.
Now, everybody's saying decision. Could a stoppage be on the table? Because you said like frustrate him.
Yeah, for sure. A stoppage is always in the works. These guys fighting with is on no headgear. Anything can happen in boxing. So
what does Shakur have to do to be successful against the TL?
Just be himself. Be him. Don't listen to the crowd. Don't listen to these fans. Don't listen to these haters, these and daughters. Just be him. Do what he do best, and that's one.
Teddy Atlas gave a detailed breakdown that focused more on mindset than just boxing skills. The veteran trainer said Lopez's performance can change a lot depending on how he feels mentally on fight night, which has led to ups and downs during his time as a champion. Atlas also talked about Lopez's father always being by his side. He said that no matter what people think about their relationship, that partnership has helped Lopez win world titles in more than one weight class.
You know one thing that I love about this fight, Bud? Shakur's very athletic, very talented. So is Teofimo. He's more explosive with power, but Teofimo is very athletic. He is very talented. You got two athletic guys, two talented guys. Again, Teofimo I would favor with the power. This is going to be interesting.
Oscar de la Hoya used his many years of experience as a top fighter and promoter to explain why Stevenson is so hard to beat. He said Stevenson controls distance very well and uses a strong jab to stop opponents from starting their attacks. Fighters keep getting pushed back and reset, which makes them frustrated as the rounds go on. Still, de la Hoya did not count Lopez out. He said that if anyone has the right mix of skills to break Stevenson's calm, planned style, Lopez might be that one fighter.
That's going to be a great... You know what, Teo's a hell of a fighter. I love Teo, but I love Shakur. His style is almost impossible to break, but if there's a fighter who can break it, it's Teo. But it's going to be a hell of a fight because I love Shakur because he doesn't run. He's right there in front of you. So it's up to Teo to do something, but I think it's going to be a great fight. Great fight for boxing.
Abel Sanchez looked at the fight in a different way, saying it's less about skill puzzles and more about who is willing to make the action happen. He admitted there is a risk that two smart fighters could cancel each other out and make a slow fight that fans don't enjoy. Sanchez said the responsibility is on Lopez to stop that from happening. He believes Lopez's pride and desire to be a star should push him to move forward in a smart way. If Lopez pressures without losing control, Sanchez thinks it will force Stevenson to do more than just jab and lead to exciting exchanges.
Shakur's a great talent, and Teofimo looked great in his last fight. Of course, he didn't have Shakur in front of him, but I think that for Shakur, he has to keep the fight at his distance. If he does that, I think it's a win for him. Teofimo, he's more, he wants to draw you and he wants to counterpunch. He's gonna have to be a different guy this time. He's gonna have to attack. He's gonna have to be leading the fight, or else it's gonna be a boring fight. I don't think it'll be a boring fight, but if he sits back and waits for Shakur's gonna wait for him, then it's not gonna be exciting. But I think Teofimo will attack. I think Teofimo has to attack. I think Teofimo has to do what Zepeda did, except for Teofimo's a lot more talented than Zepeda was. So I think that, I honestly, I see a draw. I don't know why I see a draw, but I just see them both having great rounds and giving us the kind of fight that I think the public is looking for.
Paulie Malignaggi talked about the emotions behind the fight, not just the skills. He leaned a little towards Stevenson but said Lopez should never be counted out. Throughout Lopez's career, doubt has often pushed him to fight his best, while high expectations have sometimes led to strange struggles. This mental battle makes the fight feel very close, even though Stevenson may have the technical edge. Malignaggi sees Stevenson as a future pound-for-pound star, but he also respects Lopez as a fighter who can win by creating chaos and breaking the plan.
You want to give Shakur the edge, I do, but Teo is not something to play with because when he's got his back to the wall, he becomes the most difficult guy to deal with, you know? And he's got his best performances when people count him out. And then when people feel like he's going to win easily, he's got his worst performances. So this is one of those times where Teo could make it really, really interesting. Shakur, for me, is a possible pound-for-pound #1 at one time. But if there's a guy who could be a threat to him, it is Teo, because Teo has that little bit of difference-making ability.
Is it a 60-40 fight? Is it still close?
I mean, it's probably 60-40, maybe even higher, but that's a live 30 and 40 by Teofimo, because again, the way he shows up is very, very difficult and tricky.
But it's very rare for fighters to fight in their prime nowadays. They're both, 28 years old. They're fighting in their prime.
Yeah.
You got to give a lot of respect to both of them, right?
Yeah, you do. And that's the problem. You don't see a lot of fights happening in the guys' primes. They milk the money and stuff like that. That's why I give these two guys credit.
Regis Prograis gave the toughest take on Lopez's chances, focusing more on his mindset than his physical skills. The former super lightweight champion admitted that Lopez is very talented and athletic, but he believes mental weakness will hurt him against a smart fighter like Stevenson. Prograis pointed to a pattern in Lopez's career. He said Lopez often looks great against big-name opponents on big stages, but seems unsure against lesser-known fighters, even when he still wins on the scorecards.
I think, Shakur, I think the thing is about Teo is very good athletically, but he's weak-minded. You can see in some fights he's struggling. Teo does struggle. Now he does come up for big fights. Lomachenko, he came up. Josh Taylor, he came up. But a lot of fights, man, he struggles in. He does struggle on a whole lot of fights and stuff. Like, I think he looked good. Yeah, he looked good against Barboza. But like I said, for the most part, Teo does struggle. And I think he struggles mentally with a lot of things. But I think with Shakur, I think Shakur's going to break him. I think maybe the first two or three rounds, it might be a close fight. It might be close. It might be 2-1 or something like that. But then after that, I feel like, Shakur is probably going to start stepping up, and Teo's going to try to hit him, and it's not going to work. And then Shakur might start. The thing about Shakur is a very good, a real good counterpuncher, really sharp, real sharp with the counterpunch. He sneaks those punches in, and that's the ones that hurt the most, when he just sneaking them in when you're not supposed to hit him. So I definitely feel like, I feel like Shakur is going to beat him comfortably. Not knockout, but comfortable 12 rounds for sure.
Amir Khan favored Lopez because of his own experience fighting similar opponents. The British ex-champion thinks Lopez can step up his intensity when needed and doubts whether Stevenson has ever faced someone with Lopez's speed and real power. The move up in weight adds more uncertainty. Stevenson will need to prove his skills work just as well against naturally bigger fighters who could have physical advantages he hasn't faced before in his 3-division title run.
The fight between Stevenson and Lopez, what a fight. Who wins that? Lopez. You think Stevenson? Lopez is a very good fighter, bro. I've trained with him, I've had him on the pod, he bangs hard. He's a good all-round boxer, slick. A lot of people don't give him the credit for how good of a boxer he is. Look, he's the type of guy I know about Lopez is that when he has to turn it up, he turns it up. And I think with someone like Shakur, he will have to turn it up big time. And obviously Shakur, we've not really seen him in the deep end. Look at Lopez, he's fought the likes of Lomachenko. He's beaten some great names on the way.
Oscar Valdez has a unique view because he fought Stevenson himself in 2022. Many thought Valdez could challenge the undefeated champ, but Stevenson dominated, even scoring a knockdown in the 6th round and winning clearly on the judges' scorecards. From that tough experience, Valdez said Stevenson's style frustrates opponents, and letting that frustration take over usually ends badly. He stressed that Lopez must stick completely to his game plan and stay focused for all 12 rounds.
If you go off paper, I would say Shakur Stevenson, but I would hate to say that because I can see Teofimo Lopez doing the opposite. And then it's going to be like, I thought, Oscar Valdez thought Shakur was going to win and Teofimo won. He was like, no. I think Teofimo Lopez, it's a 50-50 fight in my opinion, because, Teofimo's been proving it before. And I gotta emphasize this, if someone can pull it off, it's definitely Teofimo Lopez. If Teofimo Lopez doesn't do it, I don't see who is gonna beat Shakur Stevenson. I don't see another fighter who will beat him. I know I said Pitbull, I think because Pitbull came with some problems, but I wouldn't see no one else beating him unless Shakur Stevenson goes to 147, and then he's obligated to have some competition with I don't know, Ben Conner and all the other welterweights who are doing it.
The event also includes 2 other world title fights, making it a big night of championship boxing at Madison Square Garden. As the fight gets closer, fans and experts are split on whether Lopez can surprise everyone again or if Stevenson's skill will be too much, just like Crawford and others think. We'll find out Saturday night when 2 of America's best face off.